Moving on now, Andrew, to a story in the Telegraph and indeed the Times, and I wanted to get your reaction to this as a barrister. In fact, we have quite a few legal stories to talk about this morning. Donald Trump has warned Sir Keir Starmer against banning social media for under 16s. So the White House has criticised plans for Australian-style age restrictions. And I suppose there are two elements to this, right? One is the free speech argument, with campaigners fearing the policy would require users to submit to ID checks, thereby kind of compromising the anonymity of social media users. The other is a more commercial attitude, with the US government fearing the compliance and financial impact on American tech giants. And I wonder, can you see a world in which the policy dies a slow death in the courts by the hands of powerful Silicon Valley legal teams?
Well, absolutely. We're having Tech Week here at the moment in London. I'm going to the AI Summit tomorrow. We're talking about all sorts of things, not least of which will be the potential restrictions on social media. And there are two important points to make. Is one, what does it mean in practice? And you look at the statistics, Ofcom say about 90% of UK children aged between 8 and 15 use online video sharing services, while social media engagement amongst teens is obviously almost universal. Psychiatrists have talked about excessive social media use basically leading to increased anxiety, body image, depression, so on and so forth, sleep disruption. So there are those sort of effects. The question is this, however, is you're right. We don't want to curtail freedom of speech. How would you enforce such a thing? Because a lot of people want to get around it. It means that we would all have to, I would give our information as to what's going to happen on that sort of basis. We'll all have to share data. And I always say data is the new currency. What we need to look at is actually what is the harm what they're trying to do. They're trying to restrict, if you like, access to certain material, particularly about nude images and so on and so forth. And the technology companies, what Starmer was saying, is they've got the ability, or would have the ability, to try and blur that out where appropriate. But children, probably those under 16, are more tech savvy than those over certain ages anyway. And you'll often find that parents are going to their children to explain how the tech works. So there are ways round it, and they're going to find using all sorts of things like VPNs and so on and so forth to try and get round it. It is a balance, as you rightly say, and trying to get that right is going to be very, very interesting. But there are literally billions at stake as a result of it. We need to embrace social media. We need to embrace AI and technology, but also be very, very aware of the harms that it causes. And that debate will continue. But I think it's very, very dangerous just to have a blanket curtailing of freedom of speech.